Hey everybody, I'm Mike DeSepoli and welcome to episode 62 of the Ask the Advisor show. Today we'd like to talk to you about tariffs and trade wars. In light of the administration's recent announcement that they will begin to impose a tariff on aluminum and steel imports into the United States, we'd like to take a few minutes today to discuss and break down what tariffs are, why there's an implication or a belief that this could lead to some sort of a trade war or a standoff as we move ahead, and what this all means for investors, and make sure that we keep everything in perspective here, because we know that the media loves events like these and they'll spend a lot of time covering it. So first, what is the announcement that has been dominating the news headlines? And that is last Thursday, President Trump announced that the administration plans to impose a tariff on all imported aluminum and steel into the country. So first, what is a tariff? A tariff is an additional tax that is levied on top of either imports or exports. In this case, it's going to be steel and aluminum imports. So what it does is it increases the cost of people that are importing steel and aluminum into the country. And the purpose here, or the idea of what they're trying to achieve with this, is to make steel that we're importing from other countries more expensive. Therefore, it makes U.S. steel and aluminum cheaper as a result, or in comparison to, and therefore hopefully drives commerce and encourages businesses to use steel and aluminum that's created right here in the United States. So it's an attempt by the president to protect certain industries in certain parts of the country where producing aluminum and steel are one of the primary job creators. Now, of course, with everything, there's unintended consequences, and we always have to consider the reaction from something like this. So initially, the stock market, financial markets did not like the news. They sold off on the news of these new tariffs. And really the reason for that is people fear that this will lead to a trade war where, say, Europe or China or other nations say, okay, if you're going to impose additional taxes on us, then we're going to impose additional taxes on your goods as they enter our country, and it could have a negative effect on U.S. products as they're imported into other nations around the world. And we obviously don't want to see that. The other concern here is that while we have about 200 or so thousand jobs in this country that are based around the production of aluminum and steel, there's about 4 million or so estimated people that work in industries that consume aluminum and steel. One particularly that comes to mind, we think about beverage distributors, beer companies specifically that use aluminum in their beer cans. Obviously, we don't want to see the cost go up or be increased on U.S.-based businesses here. So that's some of the concerns around these tariffs. Many people believe that maybe the administration is just using this as a negotiating point, as a way to renegotiate NAFTA, which is a trade deal that the United States and many other nations are a part of. The U.S. is seeking more favorable terms in those deals. So this could be a move by the president to start the bargaining process. We really don't know where this will end up. As of today, one of the top economic advisors has resigned from the White House over the concept of these tariffs. He's in disagreement with these policies, and he's decided it's time for him to move on. So we will continue to monitor the situation. But as investors, if you're at long-term goals, long-term objectives, nothing has changed materially. There may be some hiccups in the markets from this on the short term, but all told, by the time this all tends to filter through the next couple of weeks, we'll find out if these tariffs are something that are here to stay, or if this was just a negotiating point from the current administration. But make sure you stick to your long-term goals and objectives. Don't be tinkering with your portfolio, trying to anticipate different government policies or regulation changes. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Otherwise, we'll see you back next week for episode 63.